I think I messed up. Wait, I'm sure I did. Welcome to Young Elder TV, where UFOs, religions, Anunnaki, and black youth collide in a cosmic comedy. Meet Marcus, our fearless leader. He's an aspiring scientist and part-time alien enthusiast. Then there's Maya, his sister, a no-nonsense lawyer who secretly believes in ancient astronauts. Oh, and don't forget Grandma Pearl. She swears she had tea with an alien once. And finally, their quirky neighbor, Mr. Thompson, convinced he's a reincarnated god. With 3 million fans already hooked, Young Elder TV blends laughs with galactic mysteries. Ready to join the fun? Hit that subscribe button and dive into the cosmic chaos. Young Elder TV, where the stars align for comedy.
Beyond the stars lies a tale yet untold. Prepare for the Nadjaru movie from Young Elder Motion Pictures. Witness the legend unfold.
The air shimmered above the White House lawn. It rippled like water disturbed by a thrown stone. The guards, their fingers hovering near triggers, exchanged uneasy glances. They had never seen anything like it. Neither had anyone else, not in the annals of human history. Then the shimmer solidified. A craft materialized, sleek and black as obsidian. Its shape resembled a cigar, elongated and impossibly smooth. It hovered silently, defying gravity with casual ease. A hatch slid open, bathing the lawn in an ethereal blue light. Out stepped figures of impossible grace and bearing. They were tall, their skin the color of polished ebony. Robes of black, gold and green flowed around them, whispering of ancient power. Their faces, regal and strong, held the wisdom of countless millennia. These were the Nadjaru, travelers from a distant star system far beyond the reach of human understanding. They had come with a purpose, a mission of vital importance. The fate of 2 worlds rested upon their arrival.
Meantime, UFO sightings in New York have nearly doubled since the pandemic began, and we are getting new video from the Navy showing pyramid-shaped objects flying in the sky. Brian Yennis is live for us in Brooklyn, New York. Brian, good morning.
Trace, good morning. This extraordinary video and images of unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, were leaked to investigative reporter Jeremy Corbell and investigative reporter George Knapp. This night vision video purportedly shows 3 pyramid-shaped UFOs flying over the USS Russell off the coast of California in July of 2019. At one point, these UFOs reportedly hovered just 700 feet above the tail of the Navy destroyer, making, quote, extraordinary maneuvers. Now, Corbell says the unclassified video is part of a classified government report intended to educate officials about unidentified crafts flying over restricted airspace. These cell phone photos taken by a FA-18 pilot in March of 2019 show 3 different unidentified aircrafts off the coast of Oceania, including 2 UFOs dubbed the Metallic Blimp and another called the Sphere. A Department of Defense spokesperson said, quote, "I can confirm that the referenced photos and videos were taken by Navy personnel. The Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force has included these incidents in their ongoing examinations." However, the Pentagon was unwilling to confirm these 3 photos, which Corbell says came from the USS Omaha, showing a UFO diving into the ocean and disappearing.
That is an extraordinary piece of technology. Whoever is operating these technologies are far more advanced than anything we have in the US arsenal, and that should be a warning sign. We need to find out the intent of the operators of these vehicles.
You know, the government at last report had admitted in, I think, Majestic type papers that there were 58 or so groups visiting us, with I think 3 or 4 main groups. The Ebens, which are a group that are peaceful and don't really meddle too much. And then there are the Greys, which we should talk about them being the tall Greys. The short Greys are really just androids or robots that are used by all of them. They all use them. And then you have the reptilians. Of course, we talk about that in Above Majestic. And then we have the Nordic types. The Nordic types have told us that they're from all different types of star systems, and there is more than one Nordic type. But what we found out recently is that one of these groups, at least, is us from the future. And there are other groups like this Nordic group. There is an African-looking group. There is a Polynesian-looking group. I think we're going to find very few of these extraterrestrials are Caucasian or blonde-haired, blue-eyed, like a lot of people depict. Many, many, many of our cosmic cousins from the local 52 star cluster are people of color. And when we get to a point to our cosmic cousins actually visiting and integrating with us, we are going to be forced to deal with some of our petty racist programming here on our planet.
There of I think it's the Apollo flight that Buzz and Neil were on. But anyway, there is one image there that shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off.
Not dark, black.
Black skin.
Really black. Yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall?
Yeah.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
Well, what?
it's safe. 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
Have you heard about Clark McClellan's statement about that?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
The Pentagon says that this video here appearing to show a UFO is in fact real. Well, a U.S. Navy pilot recorded the pyramid-shaped object. Now, it's not clear when or where this was shot. But right now, a government task force is gathering photographs and also videos of UFO encounters. Then that group is releasing a comprehensive report for Congress in June.
They're known as the Xtlanta Nadjaru Nataru, a name whispered on the winds of the cosmos, a planet orbiting the middle star in Orion's belt called Alnilam. Their planet, the 9th planet from their sun called Xtlanta. It is a world of vibrant life, of advanced technology and deep spirituality. Its people, the Nubians of Earth's distant past, had ascended. They have transcended the limitations of their physical forms, evolving into beings of pure energy and consciousness. Their technology far surpassed anything humans could conceive. Space and time were their playthings. They traversed the universe in their advanced vessels, their minds capable of bending reality itself. Yet, for all their power, the Xtlantans, Nadjaru, remained a peaceful people. Their hearts beat with compassion. Their purpose was to guide, to protect, to nurture the fragile flame of life wherever they found it. Their journey to Earth was not one of conquest or domination. It was a mission born of necessity. The Xtlantans had foreseen a grave threat, a danger that could extinguish the light of humanity before it reached its full potential. They had come to avert this catastrophe, to steer humanity away from the abyss.
The question becomes, who are the Nadjaru, also called the Nadjaru or the Nadjaru, also referred to as the Ghouls, or the Natari or Tari people, all terms referring back to the gods or the Elohims, also connected with the Anunnakis, because for one part, the new generation of Nadjarus are descendants of the Anunnakis. Now we get a whole bunch of questions of people asking, are the Anunnakis different from the Nadjarus? And the answer is yes and no. The reason why the answer is yes is because if you look at the different features of the Nadjarus, they have several features that's different from the Anunnakis. The Nadjarus don't grow beards. The Nadjarus have longer necks and longer noses, lighter skin tones, more wavy or hair textures. The Nadjarus are a mixture of several different species. One of their ancestors of the Nadjarus is the Nagas, who existed way back. They the ones that introduced this pyramid-style buildings and the pyramid-style UFOs from the Nadjaru's ancestors. Now, the Nadjarus you see with the beard, they have Anunnaki influence. Keep in mind about the contract with the beard in the Bible and the Israelites and Inky them, because Inky them grew a beard because some of their avatars have this shaggy influence. We can get into that later on another tape. But the long necks, like I said, comes from the Naga influence. So some of you might see have a longer necks or longer noses or certain types of slit in your eyes. It's because you go back to these Naga beings, right? And the Hindu beings mixing in, right? And the Dragonian reptilians from Inky side and the Nomos, right? All of these are different species mixed into the Nadjaru genetics. Also, might I add about the American Negroes, because the Nadjarus are American Negroes in the future, is what they describe these beings as. America, also known as Turtle Island, became the melting pot where different species of races of humanoids came to mix in to create this stronger genetics. Adolf Hitler mentioned that the American Negroes were the strongest genes in the world, especially after he was ordered by Asgard Command to create this superior white race that was supposed to dominate the American Negro race, because they knew who we are in the future. We are the Nadjarus, the guardians of the galaxy. Also, as a gift, the Asgard Greys have given over their technology to the Nadjarus as the protected planet treaty ends in 2030. Plus, they have a 13-year grace period, giving you 2043 when the vortex will be open again after the year 2033. Like we say, the Nadjarus have been around for billions of years, right alongside the Anunnakis, even before they were called the Anunnakis. The Nadjarus look different based on the evolutionary process. Because remember, we told you they mixed in with several different races. Different galactic treaties took place where different races mixed their species to make stronger and better genetics. The Nadjaru or Nadjaru also can be classified as Anunnakis because right now some of them work on Mothership Nibiru, and during the time of the gold experiment they were working on Nibiru. Keep in mind, Nibiru has the power to jump time and move in and out of what they're calling the fabrics of space. Now, the Nadjarus live in the Orion star constellation in Orion's belt in the middle star called Alnilam. It is also referred to as Al-Natak. It is a new star, a blue star, being 20 times the size of your sun, which has 9 planets rotating around it. One of these planets is called Mentis. Another one of these planets, which is the 9th planet, is called Atlantis with an X, which is the home world of the Nadjarus. They have mastered death, for death is only a disease that there's a cure for. These people don't die, they multiply. They are the gods, the angelical beings that you mention of in your scripture. They are one of the groups, the ones that look like humans. There are different types of extraterrestrials that chose to fight on behalf of Murdoch and the Anunnakis, or Mikael, as he's referred to in the Injil, or your biblical texts, where he's also referred to as Melchizedek or Melchizedek. We know him as the leader of the Nadjarus, the head overseer, Yanun, also referred to as Ra in your ancient Egyptian texts. He's the Nadjaru or the Nadjaru or the Elohim Yahweh, who you give praise to at the end of all your prayers when you say Amen, Amen, or Amen, Amen Ra, from the ancient Egyptian construct of who and what we are. There's also a connection in the Bible, in the New Testament, with the word Oranos being there for the word heaven, referring to the Orion star constellation. Also in Job chapter 9 verse 9, it mentions of 3 different star constellations, which is Arcturus, Orion, and the Pleiades star system. In reference, referring to these particular star systems as heaven, the south chambers of heaven. Also, another sign of these beings is that the pyramids in the Giza Plateau were aligned up with the stars in Orion's belt, with the middle pyramid being lined up with the star that the Nadjarus come from. Also, the pyramids down in Mexico at Teotihuacan lines up with the Orion star system in the Orion's belt. Also, there are pyramids in China that lines up with the Orion star system as well. So there's a deep connection between Orion and the builders of the pyramids. And it's all connected to the Nadjaru and the mound builders, the Washita Moors, who are in the process of becoming Wusabak, so that they can become the Nadjaru again, the Nadjaru, the gods, the Elohims. It's all right there in the book, in the scriptures, if you read it closely. Now there's been many different sightings of these pyramid-shaped ships, which is the Nadjaru ships. Now keep in mind, the Nadjarus are part of the RIS-TEC program and the Orion Group program. So these pyramid-shaped ships could be flown by several different species, like the feline beings who are part of the Orion Group and the Greys who are part of the Orion Group. Also, some agreeable reptilians. The Nadjaru also have long cigar-shaped cylinder crafts, which are the military crafts. Some of them can be ranged from 1 mile to 2 miles long, housing in between 20,000 to 300,000 men. Most of all the Nadjaru crafts have advanced technology that is out of this world. Their meeting in 1962 scared the government, which we'll get into later, where they met up with John F. K. Leading up to after John F. Kennedy's death, Ronald Regan getting into office. Ronald Regan knew of these beings and they were scared. So he set up a program called the Starwars to try to fight against the Nadjarus, to try to stop them from coming and doing what they said that they was gonna do, going back to 1962 in connection with John F. K. We'll get more into this. But the Star Wars program was set up to invent these laser weapons and things so they can fight against these Greys and the Nadjarus from laying claim to the planet. The Nadjarus have rightful claim, being that they are Anunnakis and from the Dragon reptilians and all of the original species of the planet.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
From the stars of Orion, the cosmos teems with mystery. Hidden among the billions upon billions of stars are stories yet untold. One such story originates in the Orion constellation, 1,344 light-years away. There, orbiting a blue giant star, lies the Nadjaru homeworld. This is not a story of gentle explorers or peaceful diplomats. This is a story of power. This is a story of the Nadjaru. These beings traveled from Orion to our solar system long ago. Their journey was a testament to their advanced technology. They did not come as passive observers. The Nadjaru came with a purpose. They came with a mission. They came to enforce the laws of the cosmos. Their presence has been felt on Earth for millennia. Ancient texts whisper of their arrival. Myths and legends hint at their influence. The Nadjaru have long been watching, waiting, judging. Their patience, however, is not infinite. The time has come for them to make their presence known.
The Sun reported Friday a large, unidentified flying object hovering over Moscow's Kremlin. According to The Sun, witnesses said the pyramid-shaped object could be as big as a mile wide. And while Russian reports have ruled out UFO speculation, The Sun says the police have refused to comment and aerospace experts are stumped. This is Lauren McCaffrey for NYPost.com.
The Nadjaru cut imposing figures. Towering over humans, they stand between 6 and 7 feet tall. Their skin is the color of the richest ebony, a testament to their origins beneath a powerful blue sun. Their hair, thick and woolly, often frames sharp angular features. Their eyes, black as the void between stars, seem to hold ancient secrets. They are not creatures of brute strength, though their physical prowess is undeniable. Their power lies in their intellect. They possess minds capable of comprehending the universe's deepest mysteries. The Nadjaru have mastered technologies beyond human understanding. They control energies that humans can only dream of harnessing. Their very presence radiates authority. When they speak, their voices boom with the weight of ages. They are not here to negotiate. They are not here to ask permission. The Nadjaru are here to command.
The Xtlantans, Nadjaru possessed an uncanny ability. They could manipulate the very fabric of time. Their arrival in Washington, D.C. was no accident. They had pinpointed this specific era, this pivotal moment in human history, as the crux upon which the future teetered. The year was 1962. After the split between the Sino-Soviet and the People's Republic of China in 1961. The Cold War gripped the world in its icy talons. The threat of nuclear annihilation loomed large, a spectre haunting the dreams of every man, woman, and child. The Nadjaru knew that this was a turning point. The choices made by world leaders in this era would have repercussions that echoed through the ages. They had come to meet with the leaders of the United States, the nation that held the power to unleash unimaginable destruction. Their message was simple yet profound. Abandon the path of war, embrace peace and cooperation. The fate of humanity, the future of their own descendants depended on it.
The Nadjaru wield technology that borders on magic. They control zero-point energy, drawing upon the very fabric of space-time. Their weapons crackle with contained plasma, capable of leveling cities in an instant. Time itself bends to their will, allowing them to witness past events and even influence the flow of history. Their ships, sleek and silent, move with impossible grace. They can traverse the vast distances between stars in the blink of an eye. Cloaking technology renders them invisible to human eyes, allowing them to observe our world undetected. The Nadjaru have been watching for centuries, their advanced senses recording our every move. They have mapped our planet, cataloged our species, and studied our history. Nothing escapes their notice. They understand our strengths and our weaknesses. The Nadjaru know us better than we know ourselves.
Honey?
Should not be here. And how starting to get home?
The Nadjaru are not conquerors. They are not invaders. They see themselves as guardians, upholders of a cosmic balance. They travel the galaxy, intervening in the affairs of less advanced civilizations. Their mission is to maintain order, to prevent chaos. They are the Galactic Police, enforcing laws older than time itself. Their interactions with Earth have been subtle, hidden in the shadows. They have met with world leaders, whispered warnings in the ears of the powerful. The Rothschilds know their name. The British royal family has felt their gaze. The Nadjaru do not tolerate those who threaten the galactic order. Their patience, however, has limits. They have witnessed humanity's destructive tendencies, our capacity for greed and violence. The Nadjaru have seen enough. They have decided to intervene directly. Section 5. Heirs to the Blue Planet. The Nadjaru believe they have a rightful claim to Earth. They claim descent from the Naga reptilian and the Anunnaki, powerful beings from Earth's distant past. Legends speak of these beings as gods, shaping humanity in their image. The Nadjaru see themselves as heirs to this legacy, the rightful owners of Earth and its inhabitants. Their claim is not based solely on lineage. The Nadjaru believe they are the only ones who can guide humanity towards a brighter future. They see our species teetering on the brink of self-destruction, consumed by greed, ignorance, and violence. They believe that only they possess the wisdom and the power to set us on the right path. Their methods are not always gentle. The Nadjaru are not afraid to use force to achieve their goals. They believe the ends justify the means, especially when the fate of an entire species hangs in the balance. Section 9. Whispers and Warnings. Rumors spread like wildfire. Stories of the Nadjaru's advanced technology, their ability to manipulate time and energy, became the stuff of legends. Some whispered of abductions, of humans taken aboard the ship for unknown purposes. Others spoke of secret meetings, of world leaders making deals with the enigmatic aliens. Fear and uncertainty gripped the world. The old order had crumbled, and in its place stood the imposing presence of the Nadjaru. Their motives remained shrouded in mystery, their plans for Earth unclear. Were they saviors or conquerors? Guardians or jailers? The line between hope and fear blurred. Some saw the Nadjaru as a necessary evil, a force that could save humanity from itself. Others saw them as usurpers, stripping away human autonomy and ushering in an era of interstellar tyranny.
The Oval Office was thick with tension. The President, John F. Kennedy, a man accustomed to wielding power, found himself strangely humbled. Standing before him were beings who exuded an aura of ancient wisdom, their eyes filled with a knowing that spanned millennia. He listened, along with his top advisors, as the Nadjaru spokesperson delivered their message. His name was Arashu Raye, and his voice resonated with a deep melodic timbre that seemed to vibrate in the very marrow of their bones. Arashu spoke of the interconnectedness of all things, of the ripple effect that even the smallest actions could have across time and space. He warned of the dangers of nuclear weapons, not just the immediate devastation they could unleash, but the long-term consequences, the genetic damage, the poisoning of the planet itself. He spoke of alternative paths, of a future where humanity harnessed the power of the atom for peace, for progress, for the betterment of all.
Space is open to us now, and our eagerness to share its meaning is not governed by the efforts of others. We go into space because whatever mankind must undertake, free men must fully share. I therefore ask the Congress, above and beyond the increases I have earlier requested for space activities, to provide the funds which are needed to meet the following national goals. First, I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space, and none will be so difficult or expensive to accomplish. We propose to accelerate the development of the appropriate lunar spacecraft. We propose to develop alternate liquid and solid fuel boosters, much larger than any now being developed, until certain which is superior. we propose additional funds for other engine development and for unmanned exploration. Explorations which are particularly important for one purpose which this nation will never overlook: the survival of the man who first makes this daring flight. But in a very real sense, it will not be one man going to the moon. If we make this judgment affirmatively, it will be an entire nation. For all of us must work to put him there.
A declassified memo from President Kennedy demands that the CIA share its UFO intelligence with NASA.
This letter is dated 10 days before the assassination. Is there a connection?
Could the explosive letter help solve one of the most shocking murders in history?
I mean, this document is absolutely sensational.
Were Kennedy's probes with the CIA about UFOs cause for alarm or even possibly assassination?
November 22nd, 1963, 12:30 p.m. Shots ring out across Dealey Plaza in Dallas, ending the life of President John Fitzgerald Kennedy and sending a nation into mourning.
The JFK assassination is one of the most controversial and polarizing cases in American history. It's a decades-old question. Who killed JFK and why?
The President of the United States is dead.
Over the last 50 years, there have been numerous theories about Kennedy's death. A sensational declassified government memo emerged that some thought provided new possible motives for the agency's involvement in the assassination. A document written by JFK himself.
10 days before JFK was assassinated, he had drafted a letter to the CIA requesting all UFO documents to be released to him.
In the letter, the president also orders the agency to share their secret UFO files with NASA.
It says to the CIA, you will share this information about these unknowns, which means UFOs. You share this so that NASA's mission directors will be assisted in undertaking their defensive responsibilities.
The date of the letter is intriguing.
You've got to wonder if there's a correlation in this short time period between the letter being sent and the assassination. Now we have to ask the questions. Were Kennedy's probes with the CIA about UFOs cause for alarm or even possibly assassination?
This suggestion is unconvincing. But to the CIA, Kennedy's letter may also contain a second, greater threat. The request follows a speech Kennedy gave at the UN, where he even suggests that he will collaborate with the Russians on the biggest prize in space, a manned mission to the moon.
In the field of space, there is room for new cooperation.
Kennedy was actually interested in starting up a joint program between the Soviets and the US to combine our efforts to try and get to the lunar surface.
I include among these possibilities a joint expedition to the moon.
Some authors and historians suggest that the CIA was infuriated by Kennedy's repeated attempts to cooperate with America's Cold War enemy.
Like we say, there's several perspectives on why JFK was assassinated. But for the most part, we have reason to believe he was took out by Majestic 12 and the CIA to cover up the truth about dark-skinned Nubian extraterrestrials who run the galaxy. Also, you gotta pay attention to these guys who can't grow hair on their face. JFK is connected with the Aldebarans and the Venerians. You gotta go back and remember a guy named Val Thor from Venus. These people came here in the mid-1950s and worked for the government all the way up into Kennedy. I mean, I ain't gotta beat it over your head to show you that these guys are Aldebarans. No chin hair, freckles, red hair, green eyes. Those are Aldebaran traits. Look at the brother Robert Kennedy, who was assassinated on the right-hand side, who has the green eyes and red hair. And look at John F. Kennedy. Now, they would like to call these guys Irish, but they're really not Irish, the original Irish or Moors. These beings are Aldebaran extraterrestrials walking right amongst us. Now they give us one perspective that the mob was involved in taking down Kennedy. And we don't disagree with it because the mob was doing hits for the CIA, the Knights of Templar. So different mafia families are assets for the Knights of Templar, who are now dealing in off-world affairs under the branch called the Majestic 12. Now we'll get to Majestic 12 in a minute, but we want to talk about the relationship between John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert Kennedy and Marilyn Monroe. Now it might sound crazy, but these people are extraterrestrial. Marilyn Monroe is a Venerian and part of the same clan, this Aldebaran clan, because she's not originally naturally a blonde. She's a redhead, right? And this also played a part in Kennedy's secrets that they were keeping. As we say, extraterrestrials walk amongst us every day. Kennedy was the extraterrestrial poster boy for the government. Remember, Eisenhower made a deal with the extraterrestrials in 1952 at Dorsey Air Force Base, and Eisenhower passed it to Kennedy. And you already know about Truman, right? Because Eisenhower and Truman was involved with Majestic 12, and Truman is a killer clown. So when I tell you killer clowns from outer space, don't think young girls are crazy. And may I point out, these guys don't have hair on their face. Now here's where the story get interesting. Majestic 12 had 12 guys assigned to this special detail to study extraterrestrials. One guy that stands out is James Forrester.
Secretary of Defense Forrestal meets with General Clay on a whirlwind visit to Berlin. During a 16-hour stay, Secretary Forrestal, whose position in the new Truman cabinet is in doubt, inspects American occupation forces and the airlift. Then he whirls out again, heading for Florida to make a personal report to the president.
Like we said, Eisenhower picked Kennedy as his guy on the extraterrestrial business and front man. Plus, Kennedy goes way back with the extraterrestrial involvement. Plus, he was James Forrester's right-hand man when he went to go investigate in Germany, right? After Project Paperclip, where German scientists made deals with the U.S. government in exchange for immunity from the world courts. James Forrester was assigned by Navy intelligence to go over and do research and investigation on the crafts and the different technology that the German scientists was working on. Now keep in mind, Asgard Command was giving Hitler technology. Also, the reptilians from Mars, who are really the Dragon reptilians, the disagreeable ones. Now you gotta understand about Kennedy. Kennedy was a Navy man. And on James Forrester's visit to Germany, guess who accompanied him? John F. Kennedy. There you go right there in the background. James Forrester was responsible for reporting back to Eisenhower, which we have reason to believe that he didn't report everything back to Eisenhower. Also, like we said, Kennedy is Eisenhower's boy. He was being groomed to deal with the extraterrestrial business and influence and off-world influence.
America and General Eisenhower is called back to duty, meeting Defense Secretary James Forrestal to discuss many vital questions. A welcome their brief return by a master of organization.
To sum it up, James Forrester, who was one of the members of Majestic 12, knew a lot of information about the extraterrestrial involvement, and he wanted to come out and tell it to the public. All of a sudden, he's forced to resign. All of a sudden, shortly after that, he ends up in the hospital where they said that he went crazy and he couldn't take it no more and he couldn't live with himself, so he decided to throw himself out of the window. After a thorough investigation of the room that James was staying in, they saw that there were scratch marks by the window, meaning he was trying to hold himself into the room. So we wonder who threw him out the room. And we already made the connection between James and John F. Kennedy and John F. Kennedy and Eisenhower. So to sum it up, John F. Kennedy knew about the extraterrestrial involvement. He knew how far Germany was advanced in technology due to their contacts with Asgard Command and the reptilians. Also, the meeting with the black extraterrestrials, the Nadjaru, in 1962, he really wanted to come out and tell them about the Nubian extraterrestrials and dark-skinned extraterrestrials. But the government didn't want this out. Why? Because it was a threat to national security for Nubians, African Americans, to find out that they got family galactical off-world. Keep in mind, Asgard Command is involved with this. 10 days before his assassination, John F. K. wrote a declassified letter to those involved in the dark space program that he wanted them to reveal to the public all of this information, especially about the Nubian extraterrestrials. I noticed on different documentaries when they mention this, they neglect the fact that John F. Kennedy met with dark-skinned extraterrestrials. They jump over that fact. They buck dance around that fact that it was Nubian extraterrestrials. Why don't they want us to know that we have galactical family? It is said that Alan Dulles was involved in setting up the hit, an assassination plot against JFK to cover up the extraterrestrial business. The plot was to use the mob as an asset to make it look like it was political reasons dealing around the mob. But the truth of the matter is, it was about extraterrestrial involvement.
The Nadjaru's message was not a threat. It was a plea. They came in peace, their hands outstretched in friendship, not clenched in fists of war. Their mission was not to conquer or control, but to guide and advise. They understood that humanity was still young, still prone to the mistakes of youth. They had faith, however, that humans possessed the capacity for greatness, for compassion, for love. Their names, each containing the sacred syllable Ra, were a testament to this belief. Ra, the Egyptian sun god, represented light, warmth, and life. Each Nadjaru carried this symbol within their very being, a reminder of their own origins, their own journey from darkness into light. They saw the same potential within humanity, the same spark of divinity waiting to be kindled.
Section 6. Arrival at Dulce. The world changed on a Tuesday. It was a day like any other until it wasn't. The ground began to tremble in the New Mexico desert. Buildings shook, people panicked. Then with a deafening roar that seemed to split the sky, a massive object materialized out of thin air. The Nadjaru had arrived. The object, a colossal spacecraft shaped like a crescent moon, settled onto the Earth with a resounding thud. The impact registered an 8.7 on the Richter scale, shaking the region with unprecedented force. The epicenter Dulce Air Force Base, a site long rumored to be a hub for extraterrestrial activity. Panic ensued. The base went on high alert. Military personnel scrambled, their weapons useless against the advanced technology of the Nadjaru. From the heart of the ship, a ramp extended, and a delegation of tall, imposing figures descended. The world held its breath.
Huge, cigar-shaped ships appeared over the Air Force Base. These cigar-shaped ships were over a mile in length. One of them landed on the airport landing strip area. When it touched the ground, it created an earthquake like about a 3.5 to 4.0. It terrified everybody in the area. The back of this craft opened up, and several hundred young men with huge, heavy weapons came out of two sides of the ship and formed a protection line around the ship. And the people at that Air Force base, the commander, had a meeting with the individuals that were aboard this ship. And this particular race that landed those ships and that are seen in these huge cigar-shaped ships, they are a black race. They look like African Americans. They were about 6'4", 6'5", these tight-fitting black leather outfits on, and the weapons that they came out of the ships with, they were huge weapons. And if you've ever seen a race of people that were conquerors, that had never been conquered, they've got this look about them of arrogance. That is exactly what these extraterrestrials had, and they informed these people at this American Air Force base that not only were they from a militaristic society, but they had controlled a large portion of the galaxy that we live in. And this was the statement that Ronald Reagan was making to the United Nations when he said that if all the countries on the planet realized that there was a threat from outer space and from an alien civilization, we would all come together, but he was not allowed to make this statement. What I tell you is true, and the gentleman that you had on before, tell him to look up.
To deliver a message, a warning to the leaders of Earth. Humanity had strayed too far from the path. Our greed, our violence, our disregard for the planet had not gone unnoticed. The time for talk was over. The time for action had arrived.
Keep in mind what you're calling black or Nubian, dark-skinned extraterrestrials existed over the galaxy. Keep in mind the Olmecs were being abducted, and the Mayans and the Twa and the Bantu and the Afar people and the different tribes, dark Nubian tribes all over the planet, different species were being abducted. Different species were being picked specifically by the Anunnakis and other species to be taken to other planets. Some of them were given advanced technology, right? So there's Nubians that populate the galaxy, at least 70%. And keep in mind, not all of them look humanoid. Not all the Nubian extraterrestrials look humanoid, right? A lot of them, for the most part, look humanoid, and they originate from Earth or Key, right? Because there were different calamities on the Earth where the planet was destroyed and beings were abducted and taken to other star systems. Some of these beings took different shapes and different forms, like the Olmecs, who got taken to Centaurian star system, then to the Rigel star system, where a nuclear war broke out that caused a deformity. One of them groups stayed there and became a different looking group, like the Greys, while the other group left and became known as the Proconians. Now keep in mind, the Proconians are dark-skinned extraterrestrials who originated from Earth. As Centaurians, once they got to the Procon star system, they developed extra tyrosine in their brain, causing their hair to come out blonde, also causing them to have albinos born amongst them. Keep in mind, like we said, Nubian extraterrestrials populate the galaxy, right? These are the Nadjarus, right? We're going to be doing a whole tape on the Nadjaru and the Nadjaru children, right? And what we all about. And about this green light movement that we've been doing, right? Keep in mind, like I say, a lot of Nubians have been abducted from the planet and taken to different star systems, right? And given advanced technology. Some of them have ascended, have advanced technology.
A las 5:40 de la tarde, El objeto duró en el mismo sitio durante 20 minutos. Luego bajó un poco, a la altura de los cables de la luz, encima de algunos edificios. Según William Chávez, el ovni aterrizó en suelo terrestre, cerca del humedal Córdoba.
El ovni aterrizó, ¿sí? Y de ahí, en la comunicación telepática con ellos, se nos indica a todos los seres de la Tierra de que va a haber una aparición.
Section 8, The Nadjaru Legacy, a shadow over Earth. The Nadjaru's arrival sent shockwaves across the globe. Governments scrambled for answers, their carefully constructed facades of control crumbling. The public, bombarded with images of the immense ship and its imposing occupants, grappled with the reality of a power beyond human comprehension. The Nadjaru made their presence felt immediately. They didn't negotiate, they dictated. World leaders were summoned to the ship, not as equals, but as subordinates. The balance of power had shifted and humanity found itself on the unfamiliar side of subjugation. The Nadjaru's message was clear. Earth's resources, its very fate, now rested in their hands. They would be the shepherds, and humanity, the flock. The era of human autonomy was over. The Nadjaru had ushered in a new age, one where humanity played a subservient role.
Marica, esto está rarísimo.
Section 10, The Future Beckons. The Nadjaru's arrival marked a turning point in human history. No longer were we the dominant species on our own planet. Our future, once a blank canvas of possibilities, now bore the indelible mark of the Nadjaru. What does the future hold for humanity under the watchful eyes of the Nadjaru? Will they guide us towards a golden age of peace and prosperity, or will they exploit our resources and leave us as a subservient species? Only time will tell. One thing is certain, the universe has spoken. The Nadjaru are here, and their presence will forever alter the course of human destiny. The stars themselves seem to whisper their name, a constant reminder that we are no longer alone in the cosmos.
Breaking news! Humanity is at the brink of an unprecedented revelation. In an extraordinary turn of events, Nadjaru extraterrestrials have seized control of global media outlets. TV stations, radio frequencies, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everything. It's 2033 and the emergency broadcast is here. The pickup has come. The vortex is open. Thousands of Hugh motherships now surround Earth, chi-casting shadows that stretch for miles. These beings bring a message for those ready to ascend to Orion. Their call is clear. Only those vibrating on the green light frequency will be taken. For centuries, we've speculated, fantasized, and feared the unknown. Today, the truth about extraterrestrials is stark and undeniable. The Nadjaru reveal that they've been observing us, waiting for this moment. They say Earth is at a pivotal juncture, and the next step for humanity is interstellar. This isn't just a sci-fi dream. It's happening now. If you feel the green light pulsating within you, prepare to make contact. The motherships are ready for pickup, and the journey to Orion awaits. The world holds its breath as we stand on the threshold of a new era. Are you ready to embrace the truth and join the Nadjaru on their cosmic voyage? Stay tuned for updates as this extraordinary story unfolds right before our eyes. Remember, this is just the beginning. The universe holds secrets we're only starting to unravel. Keep your vibrations high, your minds open, and watch the skies. This is your call to Orion. Will you answer? The righteous will prevail. Young Elder, signing off.
The Nadjaru visit was brief, a fleeting moment in the grand tapestry of time. Their message delivered, they departed as swiftly and silently as they had arrived, their sleek craft disappearing into the night sky. Did their words fall on deaf ears? Did their warning have any impact on the course of human history? The answer, like the mysteries of the cosmos themselves, remained shrouded in enigma. What was certain was this: the Nadjaru visit served as a potent reminder that humanity was not alone in the universe. Somewhere, amidst the vast expanse of stars and galaxies, existed beings of unimaginable power and wisdom, beings who watched over them, who cared about their fate. The legacy of the stars lived on, a whisper in the wind, a flicker of hope in the darkness, a testament to the enduring power of connection across time, space, and the infinite expanse of the human spirit.
Quick, man, something interesting popped up. And I gotta show this, man, because I've been driving by here for like the last couple months, but I didn't notice it. Oh, they just painted it like this, because I ain't never seen this. But it's interesting that we putting this green light out, and then all of a sudden I passed by this, and they had to just paint this, man. I'm telling you, because I ain't never, I'm just recognizing it. Check this out. Look at this, man. I think because I ain't never seen this up here. I think they just painted this recently. I pass by here every single day, my nigga, and I ain't never seen this. And then all of a sudden now when Faye start talking about the green, now look at this, man. Let me zoom in for you. Look at this. They put this on the building, man. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, y'all. Look at that, man. Oh my God, this shit is like, yeah, this is happening, man. I had to stop, man, just to show y'all this. Look at this, man. And then they got some writing on the end of the wall right here, bro. Hold on, let me get close to this writing. It's got an eyeball. It's got Egyptian writing right here. Check this out. This shit is crazy. It's got Egyptian writing right here on the end of the building. We're gonna translate that when we get back. We're gonna look into that. I'm gonna just get a look. Yeah, but look at this. Look at the positions they're in. Look at this. Green. Look at this. This is crazy, man. They had to just paint this, man. Because it wasn't on the building like recently. Man, that's crazy, bro. The green light coming back to the planet. They scared y'all. They scared y'all. I'm telling you, man. They know what's happening. They know we coming. They know. I'm telling you. See the Egyptian right?